a place in troubled schools, a promise made and a promise kept. In the months ahead, you will see more revolutionary legislation coming to the Parliament, dealing with gambling, the age limit with respect to alcohol consumption, and much, much more.
One of the major pieces of legislation Minister Padarath highlighted was the Promise Stand Your Ground legislation.
We have had 26 sittings of the House of Representatives in marathon sessions into the wee hours of the morning. We have laid 31 bills in the Parliament. We have answered all 124 questions asked by the opposition.
Just before 4 a.m. on Sunday, radio personality Sadro Mohammed, known as Sadro, passed away. Sadro Mohammed was in many ways a pioneer in the broadcasting industry. He brought his love for culture, music, and connection to his listening audience, becoming more than a voice on the radio, but family. According to Sadro's cousin, Nafisa Mohammed, culture was his life.
Sadruddin Mohammed was born on the 17th of August 1962 and was the eldest child of the late Moinuddin Mohammed and Ined Yasmin Mohammed. Sadro was born into a home of culture, nationalism, and service to community. Sadro was a true cultural icon who contributed significantly towards the fusion of Indian music and soca in his pioneering days when he owned and operated his own studio known as the Sarana Studios, named after his children.
Known for his warmth, humor, and deep connection with his radio audience, Sadro leaves behind a legacy of culture and passion that shaped local radio and touched countless lives.
In the 1990s, Sadro became a pioneer broadcaster on radio with the advent of 103 FM and later 90.5 FM studios. He continued on the radio as a popular talk show host, engaging ordinary people, ordinary citizens throughout the length and breadth of Trinidad and Tobago in very lively, factual, forthright, and witty conversations on the issues of the day.
Sadro will be remembered for his love, laughter, resilience, and grit and determination. Switching gears now into sport. Trinidad and Tobago national sprinter Shaniqua Bascom says that training in Jamaica has benefited her development tremendously on and off the track and is encouraging other local athletes to do the same. Bascom, who recently captured victory in the girls' 200-meter dash at Velocity Fest 19, has been based in Jamaica for over a year, training with the track and field club Optimum. The 22-year-old is now focused on securing qualification for the 2028 Olympic Games.
Because you're going to experience something different. You're going to the land of where sprinting is, where all the fast athletes are, because if you realize Jamaica and the US, they are the places where the top athletes are. So I would definitely recommend somebody going to Jamaica to train.
And that's what's making the news this morning. But joining us right now is the host of Trinidad and Tobago Today, Virmala Balkaran. Good morning, Virmala, and happy Monday.
Good morning, Carrie. Happy Monday. Another week is here. Giving thanks for that.
How was your weekend?
It was very good. It was short, not restful at all. Actually, spent some of it here. Yeah. But you know.
Same. Yeah, I'm good. You know, I just wish I had like another day for the weekend today, just to chill, just to rest.
Yeah. And then by the end of that, I would want another day. Well, it was actually a really busy weekend for Trinidad and Tobago. And we saw some videos online and some live videos as well of this guy, international streamer, I Show Speedy.
Yeah, I Show Speed.
So I'm not sure if you saw, but it was absolute chaos.
It was bonkers. You know, if I could use that word, it was bonkers. You know,
some streets in Port of Spain were actually blocked off.
Wow, I didn't realize it went that far. I mean, I know there were certain communities they were driving through, and you know, it was a whole show, but I didn't realize they even blocked off roads.
Yeah, so I saw a lot of people, you know, just fans, and they were so excited about it. I'm happy for them. I really am. What did you think about that?
Like, okay, so there are a few things to unpack here for me. I realize there's a generational divide, you know, because in our day, you know, the celebrities were the people you see in the movies and the people you see on television and shows and stuff. You know, Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, Angelina Jolie. And, they would have their fan following. However, I feel like in the Caribbean and in Trinidad especially, we're not too much on celebrities. Now, you can become a sensation on the internet, doing whatever, like he was known for streaming his game, video games, playing video games on Twitch.
Yeah.
And then he became this whole internet sensation. And I guess like the younger generation connect with him more readily. So they feel like they know Speed personally rather than as a distant figure, on the screen.
So it's actually called parasocial interaction, and it's a theory that speaks to perceived friendship. So they see him and they feel like they have this connection with him. He does not know they exist.
Yeah, of course,
but it's
right?
but it's actually a theory that was popularized by the Kardashians in, I believe, the 1950s. So it's very interesting, and it's what the whole idea of influencers about. But maybe that's something we can talk about another time. Well, coming up inside our show today, Carrie, we have our following as well.
We do.
And we come out here every single day to put on that show for them. We actually have another right here, and we can't wait to see where you'll be going. And also inside the show, we continue to pay tribute to Sadro Muhammad, and we'll be joined by, someone really special to TTT and to media in general. You'll have to wait to find out about that. Also, we'll be joined by ACP Wayne Meister a little later on, and so much more.
All right, looking forward to it. As usual, Virmala.
All right, talk soon, Gary.
All right, we will. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
When we come back, the Trinidad and Tobago Today morning show gets going after this break.
Your world moves fast, so do we. TTT News brings you the people, events, and issues that matter most. Stay informed, stay ahead. TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
I'm Renee Sion with another edition of Caribbean Week in Review.
There are a number of risk factors for heart disease, so a lot of attention has to be put towards preventive cardiology. What can we do to reduce the burden due to all these risk factors? Hypertension, diabetes, cholesterol, need to stop cigarette smoking, you gotta get people exercising.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Ever wondered what happens before the lights come on? Before the crowd pours in? Before the magic hits the stage? This is your all-access pass. Sneak Peek with Junior K takes you behind the scenes of the biggest cultural moments and the hottest events across TNT. From the sound checks to the stage setups, from final rehearsals to exclusive interviews. If it's about to be big, we're already there. Catch Sneak Peek airing daily on TTT and relive every moment on all our social media platforms. Sneak Peek with Junior K, where the story starts before the spotlight.
I'm Jamila Bannister, host of the Socially Safe podcast, the new TTPS podcast where we share real stories, teach real lessons, and create real impact. From online safety and youth crime to community policing and personal responsibility, we go beyond the headlines and talk about what's happening in our communities with the officers and experts who are on the front lines. Because safety starts with awareness, conversation, and action. Tune in to the Socially Safe podcast on the TTPS YouTube channel, listen on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Don't miss it.
Watch on TTT, Mondays 6 p.m., Tuesdays 1:10 p.m.
Monday, 27th April 2026. The time now, it is 6:10 a.m. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and the world. Happy Monday. I'm Virmala Balkaran and welcome to Trinidad and Tobago today. Well, let's take a look now at what's trending this morning. Prime Minister Kamala Prasad-Bisesa has expressed relief that U.S. President Donald Trump, the First Lady and others are safe following an attack at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. While she commended the swift response of the U.S. Secret Service and extended best wishes to the injured officer, while strongly condemning the incident. On Saturday, a shooting incident at the Washington Hilton during the White House Correspondents' Dinner saw a suspect breach a security checkpoint and opened fire. One Secret Service agent was injured but protected by a bulletproof vest, and the suspect is now in custody. And celebrating the UNC's 37th anniversary in Cuba, Prime Minister Kamala Prasad-Bisesa lauded the resilience of supporters who stayed loyal through a decade in opposition. And while welcoming returning members, she pointedly noted that those who were absent during the party's hardship years and signaled a more assertive stance against past mistreatment of the rank and file. But beyond the call for unity, the Prime Minister highlighted significant government wins over the last year, including job creation. She said over 14,000 new positions were established, safety, declining crime rates and major legislative reforms. And she spoke about social investment. That's increased funding for healthcare, education and housing. And she concluded by reaffirming the UNC's roots in struggle, describing the movement as a force for national development and equality. Well, as we spoke about this morning in that conversation with Carrie, from crowds in Cuba to massive turnouts in Port of Spain on Saturday, 21-year-old American streaming sensation IShowSpeed kicked off his 15-stop Caribbean tour in Trinidad and Tobago, and he brought sections of the capital to an absolute standstill. From St. James to Tragreed Road, we saw him immersing himself in local culture, food as well. He was dancing to Tassa and he was vibing to steel pan music, and he even received some homemade kurma from a young fan. And he also made some stops at the Queen's Park Oval for cricket. He visited Independence Square and linked up with content creator Jamal Sampson for a friendly race. And his tour continues across the region with upcoming stops. Well, also, as you heard this morning in our newscast, some veteran broadcaster and cultural activist, some sad news this morning. Sadruddin Sadro Mohammed passed away yesterday at the age of 63. A beloved voice on Radio 90.5 FM, Mohammed was renowned for his sharp social commentary, his signature humor and dedication to Indo-Caribbean traditions. And in his final years, he courageously used his platform to advocate for organ donation after revealing his own battle with end-stage renal failure in 2020. In a short bit, we will speak to veteran media personality Hansley Ajoda after the break about Sadro. Well, you know what to do. Grab your cup of coffee and settle in. Trinidad and Tobago Today has begun.
Whatever the skies bring, stay prepared with TTT weather. Committed, accurate, relevant.
Women are a quiet strength the world leans on, the hands that holds everything together, and the heart that keeps on giving, even when they're tired. And it's time for us to celebrate that. I'm Yashamani, your host of Majestic Makeover, the series which uplifts and transforms the lives of everyday women who've carried so much for so long. In this season, we're looking for women like these, women who have endured, women who survive, women who keep on going, no matter what. A woman who's lost a loved one and finds the strength to go on. A survivor of crime who refused to be broken. A woman over 70 who gives to her family and the community every single day. A survivor of serious illness who continues to live with hope and courage. A physically challenged woman living fully with dignity and determination. These are the stories we want to honor. Do you know her? Nominate her. Let's celebrate her. Send us 2 brief paragraphs which briefly states who she is, your relationship to her, and why she deserves this journey. As well, send us your contact information. Send it to majesticmakeover@tt@gmail.com. Because remember, every woman needs to feel majestic. Majestic Makeover Season 3, right here on TTT.
Unleash your imagination with TTT's terrific Toon Time. Join us as we stop evil geniuses from taking over the world from Super Z. Or hop on board for a journey into outer space with Galaxy Kids. Be a part of our quest to save the forests alongside our robot pals from Bugs Bot Ignition. Or let's go exploring with Duda and Dada. Catch terrific Toon Time weekdays at 4:15 p.m. and Saturdays from 9 a.m. It's fun-filled adventure with terrific Toon Time right here on TTT.
Trinidad and Tobago woke up yesterday mourning the loss of one of its familiar cultural and broadcasting voices. Media personality, broadcaster and cultural advocate Sadro Mohammed passed away in the early hours yesterday after a period of illness, leaving behind a legacy of music, media and Indo-Trinbagonian cultural preservation. Born into the renowned Mohammed family, Sadro was the eldest son of the late Moin Mohammed and was raised in a home rooted in service, nationalism and East Indian tradition. And over the years, he became a respected figure in the promotion of Indian and chutney music, operating Sarana Studios and helping to shape the fusion of Indian music with local sounds. But beyond the music, Sadro became a household name through radio. First with stations like 103 FM and later 90.5 FM, where his factual, forthright and witty conversations made him one of the country's most loved talk show hosts. As a former radio broadcaster myself, and I believe I will always be, I was always very fond of Sadro's broadcasting style, and I have vivid memories of my grandma, my nanny, listening to him every single day, and I grew up knowing that he was a household staple. There was no missing Sadro's show. Friends and colleagues today remember a man with an infectious laugh, a warm personality, and a deep passion for culture. And one of those colleagues is veteran broadcaster Hansley Ajoda, who joins us now to reflect on the life and legacy of Sadro Mohammed. Good morning, Hansley, and welcome.
Thank you, and that was a very concise report. Good morning, Ms. Balkaran, and I'm wondering if I have anything else to say.
I'm sure you do.
Very nicely written.
I'm sure you do. You have definitely a wealth of experience and, just special time spent with Sadro. But first, let me extend our condolences. The nation is mourning a veteran broadcaster. But Hansley, you shared both a professional and personal friendship with Sadro Mohammed over many years. So how are you doing this morning?
Absolutely. I was certainly taken aback. I was shocked at the news. I hoped that things would have improved for him because he was a wonderful friend. Incidentally, we share the same horoscope. We were born in the same month. That month is August. I think he's the 17th of August. He was born back in 1962. He would have been 64 years this year on the 17th of August. I myself, I'm the 9th of August, and, Sadro was just about 6 years older than I was. I go back with the Mohammed family for quite some time. Ever since I entered radio back in 1988, I became close to the Mohammed family, Rafi Mohammed. I had the opportunity of meeting Sadro's father, Moeen Mohammed, the great Moeen Mohammed, who is a cultural icon, a cultural giant. Kamaluddin Mohammed, his uncle, who, of course, is one of the founders of the PNM, as you know, and served as health minister, served as deputy prime minister, etc., and things like that. So I became very, very close. Mohammed'sville was a place that I would frequent, but Sadro and I had a special connection, simply because we had, we saw things almost the same way. Sadro was a deeply, deeply passionate person about what he did. He was an extraordinary human being in terms of his consciousness. He was very conscious about a lot of things, and he was passionate about it. So that what you heard on the radio with Sadro was passion. And, I remember when he invented his own style. Of course, he had his own style. His style was the kind of style that you heard on non-Indian radio. Sadro brought a kind of new attitude towards talk radio. And as you would remember back on 90.5, when he hosted his program with Tony Mirage. So he brought a kind of extraordinary nature to, say, fellas like us who try to be as conservative as possible and try to stick to some of the broadcast ethics and rules, etc., etc. He would break rules, and that's Sadro. He was a rebel at heart, but a deeply, deeply passionate man, a man who loved very, very deeply. He cared deeply for people, and the times we would spend together, he would echo certain sentiments to me. He always spoke about the country. He and I always discussed the country. It was something that we shared because we realized how good Trinidad and Tobago was for us. I had brought him into 91.1 due to some sort of controversy that took place on 90.5. And I had brought him across. I think I gave the story on Facebook. I went across to his home to see him because he should not be off air. And I didn't want to know that he was unemployed. I was in charge of 91.1, which is a part of your network. And when I went there, we sat together because we share a love for coffee, incidentally. And Sadro, I sat in his hammock and we spoke and we discussed coming across. And he lowered his temperament while on 91.1 because it wasn't allowed, it wasn't talk radio, but he went back to his first love, as you stated. He was very much not only into music, but sound. He was a sound technician. He was actually the sound technician on Mastana Bahar, as you all would remember. Sadro was a behind-the-scenes man. And, of course, he had a great love for music. He and I shared a deep, deep love for Indian music, especially the classics and music by Muhammad Rafi and etc. And he would have gotten that because that's in the DNA of every Mohammed family. Miss Balkaran, I don't think that you know that the first broadcaster in Indian programming was Sadro's uncle, Kamaluddin Mohammed. Yeah. And I'm not sure that you all are aware of that. That was back in 1947. So the family had had this long history of it, so it was natural that Sadro would have just simply gravitated towards it. And he did so carving a niche not only for himself, but indeed inventing his own style. A style that I would say that even I started to step out of my own realm of being a conservative sort of broadcaster and trying the Sadro thing, which didn't necessarily work completely because Sadro was his own human being. The times we spent together were some really joyous times. I had a deep love for him and a deep affection for him simply because of the way we saw things. He was a sort of a kindred spirit. And indeed, for me, his parting all too soon, because, he would have been 64 this year. I think it's really all too soon. He still had so much to give and so much talent from such an extraordinary family, the Mohammed family, who are tremendously talented people. And to know that he's gone is going to take something to fathom. I'm still, trying to get over it. I thought about him all of last night and our times together. And I indeed would miss our conversations.
Yeah. Is there a memory that you hold dear to your heart? Or I know you may have many, but is there one that you'd share with us this morning that you share with Sadro?
Much of it, I don't drink anymore, but back then he and I would engage in all sorts of little things. And I wonder if I should give this story. But Sadro had a terribly mischievous side to him. And, there was a little incident when we were hanging out that he pulled a prank on the barman. And I don't want to go into the details of it, but these were the kind of memories that I shared with him. Especially with the prank pulling, and he had a tremendous sense of humor. And so he would naturally poke fun at people. He was a restless sort of soul, almost like a little squirrel. He had all these ideas. He always had ideas going on in his head. He would always be tossing things at me during that time. I remember once he made me repair a reel-to-reel machine for him simply because he wanted to transfer all of the late Moeen Mohammed's work on reel-to-reel. He wanted to put it down in those days on a digital audio tape and that sort of thing. So he was just like a little squirrel. That's my fondest memories of him, because he was just so energized. And I think it was all the coffee that he would be drinking. Outside of that, he just had this natural energy to him. You'll actually find the same qualities as his cousin Rafi Mohammed, who also has that same kind of energy. So it's an infectious thing, and seems somewhat in the DNA of the Mohammed family. But his pranking, which I really wouldn't want to say too much of on the air, simply because to protect some of our mischievous side, is what I remember most about him.
Yeah, they do have a very unique way of broadcasting. I would note that even Uncle Rafi, when they broadcast, they don't have an instrumental bed when they speak, and it's one of those. It's beautiful when they speak. You don't even need that instrumental like most radio presenters do nowadays, and they were able to really just deliver so beautifully and articulately, and just a great loss for us this morning. But before we go, Hansley, I have to say that is a special moment to have you on my show this morning, because I know that you also co-initiated and developed what became Good Morning Trinidad and Tobago right here on TTT, one of the first morning television formats in the country. Tell me a bit about that briefly before I wrap up. Was it always 6 to 8 a.m.? And now we have the esteemed opportunity to really just build on that here with Trinidad and Tobago Today.
It started when Brian Lara was captain of the West Indies, and he went across to South Africa. And the lunch break would normally come on at about 6:20 a.m. Trinidad time. And Colin Murray and I started discussing the game. We would do a little commentary on the game for about 20, 30 minutes or so. And that's where it was born. And then Wendell Constantine and I sat down and we discussed starting the morning show. My first producer at that time was Nicole Huggins, and Dion Buko, her husband, would assist her. And from there, we started to evolve. Sunil Ramjit Singh was among our first news people during that time. Wendell Constantine used to actually help to write news as well as Nicole. And then we saw people like Narissa Mandal and others joining us, Jamila Mohammed and others, who incidentally is related to Sadro, one of the producers. So the show became it evolved, and I was happy to launch it for Trinidad and Tobago Television. During that time, I'm happy that you all continued to carry it because there were some really, truly great and special moments. It wasn't too ceremonious when I was asked to leave during that time. There was a change in administration, and it was a very unhappy moment for me because TTT is my playground. It was my playground. Because, I started on the Play of the Month and then with the television series No Boundaries, and then to bring this morning show of which you all are doing such an extraordinary piece of work on. So if anything, I would say that you all are keeping alive a piece of work that I would have contributed to the organization, and I want to thank you for it. You're doing an extremely good job. You're certainly wonderful to look at, and you're very good to listen to. And I suppose you will have a fan in me because I'll be looking on at the show now. So congratulations to you, and you're doing extremely, extremely well.
Thank you for that. I think you have the entire team blushing this morning. We are really, really thankful for your kind words. And it's good to know that, yesterday I had this discussion that we stand on the very able shoulders of veterans like yourself. And we are able to create something special every single day because of the path that you've laid for us. So this makes me really emotional. So thank you very much. Hansley Ajoda, for joining us this morning, and we continue to extend condolences to you and everyone else on the passing of Sadro.
I want to say to the Mohammed family, my deepest, deepest condolences. I love you all, Rafi and Kayal and everybody else. I'm very, very close to the family. Mohammedville was a little place for me during that time. So to the Mohammed family, I want to say that I continue to love you all, and I hope that we will continue to remain as we are, simply because, as I said, we are kindred spirits and we share so much in common. This year, Sadro would have been 64, born back in 17th August 1962. And to him, what a wonderful memory and what a wonderful life, Sadro, you lived. And thank you again, Ms. Balkaran, and to TTT, my old playground. Thank you all so much. God bless you all, and take care.
Thank you, Mr. Hansley Ajoda, for joining us this morning. Have a beautiful day, and hopefully we talk to you soon. All right, the time now 6:32 a.m. on Trinidad and Tobago Today. We take a quick break, and when we come back, there's so much more in store for you.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
TTT weather with Zaina James, daily at 7 p.m.
Hi everybody, I am Leah.
And I'm Dion.
And we are
The Duncans.
Listen, we're here to tell you about a project the Lord has given to us called the Marriage Confessional. It is geared toward married couples, those that are on the road to marriage, and those that want to get married one day.
So join us on TTT and on Facebook and YouTube at TTT Live Online.
The Marriage Confessional, only on TTT.
Hi everyone, I'm Marissa Benin. Coming up, Jamaica, here we come. These women of vision are on a mission. Ride the waves and savor the flavor, otherwise known as spending quality time in Antigua and Barbuda. Fun times, plus the food that sets St. Kitts and Nevis apart, all available under one roof. Cue the entertainment and the food. It's Chinese Spring Festival time.
TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
ACP Wayne Meister is stepping into a critical leadership role at the Trinidad and Tobago Municipal Police Service. In one of his first public engagements since his appointment, he met with the family of slain officer Anushka Eversley as investigations continue into her killing and the theft of firearms from the municipal police headquarters in San Fernando. He returns to active service after being on extended vacation leave from the TTPS since 2025, September that is. He previously served as Assistant Commissioner of Police for the Southern Region and has held several senior roles within the police service, including Public Information Officer during the 2011 state of emergency. And he now takes charge of efforts to restore stability, strengthen operations, and rebuild public confidence in the municipal police service. Good morning to you, Mr. Meister, and welcome to Trinidad and Tobago today.
Yes, pleasant morning to you and all the viewers.
Well, welcome back, I should say.
Thank you very much.
You know, as we spoke off the break, it was quite a break for you, but now you are back and you are stepping into this role at a very turbulent time for the municipal police service. So how would you describe the state of the organization now as you meet it?
Well, what I can tell you is that the organization right now is operating under significant strain, both administratively and operationally. But they are still functional, and I think that my immediate focus will be, of course, restoring public confidence, stabilization, instilling discipline, and of course, increasing officer morale within the organization.
Now, your first public act was meeting with the family of the slain officer Les Eversley. What did you hear from them, and what did that moment really tell you about the weight of this job that's on your shoulders?
Yeah, well, definitely, they express profound grief, you know, and quite rightfully so. But they also had the expectation for myself that the investigation will be done with the utmost amount of transparency and there will be accountability. And what they indicated to me too is that they would, you know, want to see systems in place so that something like this does not happen again. And of course, definitely a situation like this, you know, it shows you the importance of the role of police officers and the dangers that police officers face on a daily basis. So there's a lot to learn from it, and it's important that leadership comes into play now.
Yeah. I know you also told the family that no words can replace what has been taken. So beyond the words, what concrete assurances did you actually give the family as well?
Well, I gave them the assurance that, number one, their number one priority, that the investigation will be done, accountability, and of course, I assured them that systems will be put in place as it relates to security protocols so that we don't have an instance like this occurring in the future.
Now, you describe this killing as something that strikes at the core of the service. What exactly did you mean by that, Mr. Meister?
Well, when you have an incident like this occurring in a police environment where there's the expectation of security and control. So when that expectation is breached, of course, it will affect the integrity of the organization, the trust, the internal trust, the confidence by members of the public. So that is what I mean, that it hits to the very core, because it's something that's not supposed to happen.
Yeah, and it also occurred within a police compound.
Correct.
So how concerned are you now about the security systems that you've inherited?
Well, I am, you know, seriously concerned, but nevertheless, that would be one of my main priorities. I'll be looking at all the security protocols as it relates to the organization, looking at the whole aspect of armory control, access control, and most important of all, meaningful supervision.
Now, as we spoke about in the introduction to this segment, you were on vacation leave from the TTPS since September 2025, correct? So what made you take on this role now, and what exactly were you brought in to fix?
Well, you know, this is my career. I have never worked anywhere before in my adult life. I'm 18. I joined the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. And so I want to serve. I continue to serve members of the public and society as a whole. And I think that this situation needed the experience and the leadership. So I was given the mandate, so I answered the call without hesitation.
Yeah. So you were given a clear mandate, or is it something that you're shaping yourself for this situation?
Well, the mandate is clear, to stabilize the organization, to restore public confidence, and increase officers' morale, and also strengthen the operational concerns that they may experience. My job now is to execute strategies in order to fulfill those particular mandates.
So let's address the most pressing issue now, Mr. Meister. This is the murder of Acting Corporal Anushka Eversley and the theft of the firearms. What can you tell the public now about the state of this investigation?
Well, that matter is before the court, so I will not be commenting. However, Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, they have lead on this particular investigation, but the Municipal Police Service, we are giving them all the necessary support in order for this investigation to see it through to the end. So based on that, I will allow the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service to make any further statements as it relates to the investigations.
Yeah. Now, last week we spoke with Kiran Singh of the Greater San Fernando Area Chamber of Commerce, and he raised some concerns about, business after this incident. Do you plan to engage now with the business community, particularly those who work closely with the municipal officers?
Yes, definitely. One of the core functions of municipal police service is to protect the state's assets as it relates to cities and boroughs. So you find that in those built-up areas where you have massive shopping areas, of course, the business community is one of our main stakeholders. So definitely, I will be engaging with all business chambers in all the different municipalities where we can work together. I know they have concerns, and I will be addressing their concerns as soon as possible. This week, I intend to visit, probably twice a week. I'll be visiting all the various municipalities, 40 municipalities in all. So I'll be paying special attention to all of them together with the chambers of commerce so that we can work together.
Mr. Meister, you're going to bring a a difference to this role, in my opinion, and I think many other people as well. So given your background on the TTPS, how will the coordination between the municipal police and the TTPS change or be adjusted during your leadership?
Yes, well, definitely. I have the opportunity now to be in both worlds. So it's important that the aspect of intelligence gathering, information sharing will be important. I intend to work closely with the executive officers of the TTPS so we can have what they call an all-frontal attack as it relates to security issues, national security issues in all aspects, because we are both law enforcement fraternities, we have the same powers of arrest. So it's important that we don't operate in silos and we come together to ensure that national security is of utmost priority.
And what does success in this role look like for you in the next 3 to 6 months, personally, that is?
Well, the morale of the officers is at an all-time low right now. And I think that by myself engaging them in a meaningful manner to ensure that they rise up and they move on from this situation so that they could continue to provide a meaningful service. Also, to the aspect of bringing back that stability will also be a personal success to me, and most important of all, to restoring public confidence, because we have to work together with members of the public. And if the public doesn't trust us, then we are in serious problems. So that will be one of my main issues to deal with, and to me that will look like success in the short term.
Mr. Meister, before we close, you said that you started when you were just 18 years old joining the TTPS. Would you care to give us just a little recap of how you ended up being where you are today and your career? How has that spanned over the years?
Well, yes, so I started at rock bottom as a recruit constable. Went through the years, 2 years, I took at least probably 16 years before I was promoted to the rank of corporal, because they said that's the hardest rank to come out of. But from there, it was smooth sailing in terms of achieving the other ranks. I worked a number of years at the police academy, over 20 years. So the thing about it is that most of the municipal officers who are present, I would have trained them. So I have that unique relationship. So that probably is one of the reasons why, going in there may not be as hard as it thinks as we go along. And then I went on to being the public information officer in 2011 during the state of emergency and so on. I went on to reach the first division in 2018, and I actually jumped about 4 ranks within 6 years. So there was some rapid promotion on my behalf. So that is how the journey went. I worked almost every area in the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, with the exception of Tobago, which I don't mind finishing off sometime. Mm-hmm. But that is how it went up to this point. Up until the point, my last assignment was Assistant Commissioner South Central, and then I proceeded on some leave.
Now, what would you say to young people looking on this morning and may want to take on a career in law enforcement, and they're looking at you and they're like, okay, this is exactly what I want to do. This is where I want to be. What would you say to them? Well,
it's the most noble profession, but I want to tell young persons, if you're just coming into this organization just for a paycheck, then don't bother to come. This is a career-driven organization, and we need persons to come into the organization who will tell themselves, okay, we have a country to protect, and we need to put our focus on that. So it's welcome to all members of Trinidad and Tobago once you are a national, but we need persons serious-minded, and with that focus to come to assist us. So they're all welcome once they have the qualifications and want to join the TTPS.
Mr. Meister, my final question to you now is, what is your message to officers within the municipal police service right now?
Well, I want to say to the officers, we have lost one of our own. And, that affects all of us. But I want to let the officers know that we will not allow that to break us. And I am calling on them to, let us rebuild this organization with discipline, with unity, with purpose. Under my command, they will see leadership from the front. And together, we will fix what needs fixing, and we are going to strengthen what needs strengthening. And my final message to them is that better days are coming.
Better days are coming. Thank you so much, Assistant Commissioner of Police Wayne Meister, for joining us this morning on Trinidad and Tobago Today. Well, remember, for all the stories that you see here and more, you can check us out at TTT Live online. Everything is posted for you a little later on in the day. And of course, at TNT Today Show. Thank you so much for engaging in all of our content on all our social media channels. Always a pleasure to see all of your comments, your shares, and everything that you do to interact with us. So again, here's social media for you on the screen at TTT Live Online, our website, for all the stories that you see here. And all our social platforms are on the screen for you as well. We take a break and come back on Trinidad and Tobago Today.
The plays that shake the arenas. The stories that move a nation. From football to cricket, track to tennis, every win, every rivalry, every headline. This is where Trinidad and Tobago come for sports.
TTT Sports. Committed, accurate, relevant.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Unleash your imagination with TTT's Terrific Toon Time. Join us as we stop evil geniuses from taking over the world on Super Z, or hop on board for a journey into outer space with Galaxy Kids. Be a part of our quest to save the forest alongside our robot pals from Bugspot Ignition. Or let's go exploring with Duda and Dada. It's fun-filled adventure with Terrific Toon Time right here on TTT.
The time is now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. No, not that. Right now.
All I need is one night. We're gonna have to splurge on it. All I need is one night. I wouldn't deaf on it.
No, not that. Right now.
All I need is one night. We're gonna have to splurge on it. All I need is one night. I wouldn't deaf on it.
This is the new day.
A new sound, a new style, a new style, a new class. Next 99.1 FM, the next level of radio.
Right now.
Well, it's a beautiful Monday morning. Whatever you have planned today, we hope that you'll be safe and you'll enjoy everything that the day has to offer. And in case you're wondering, what is the weather going to be like? How should I dress? Should I pack an umbrella? I don't know. Is there Saharan dust? Well, we'll find out now. We have Zaina James with your weather update.
Zaina James here with your weather. Tuesday's forecast holds hot and sunny conditions with a few brief showery spells possible from mid-morning into the early afternoon. Temperatures will peak in the lower 30s for both islands. In an extended look, the TTMS released their latest dryness and drought outlook, flagging borderline to slightly dry conditions expected across Tobago and parts of central Trinidad by July and August 2026. Otherwise, out at sea, moderate conditions persist in open waters, with wave heights up to 2 meters and slight in sheltered areas. In addition, a new moon on the 17th could increase the tidal pull, producing more exaggerated tides until Monday. As such, caution is advised, especially during high tide.
Thank you, Zaina. So do you really know your country? Well, as we continue showcasing Point Fortin in all its glory, we bring you another installation in our series. Point Fortin was carved from dense forest, forged by hard labor, and powered by the people who came, stayed, and built a life there. The beginning was humble, but in 1907, everything changed. Here's what's happened.
Thick, tangled, unforgiving forest. That was the start of Point Fortin, and this detail matters more than we think. It's 1906, and a man named Arthur B.B. Thompson cuts his way through it in search of black gold. 1 year later, in 1907, drilling began at La Fortune Estate, and when oil was struck, everything changed. Trinidad Oilfields Limited was formed to manage the work. By 1910, oil was being produced in commercial quantities. But this was no easy industry. The work was hard, heavy, and almost entirely manual. The company grew, eventually becoming the United British Oilfields of Trinidad. Then, in 1957, Shell Trinidad Limited. And with oil flowing, Point Fortin grew too. From a small settlement of less than 500 people in 1931 to a thriving oil town of 16,359 in 1980 when it became a borough. But big changes were afoot in 1974. The government of Trinidad and Tobago took over Shell and created Trintoc. As years went by, Trintoc joined with other companies, forming Petrotrin. This company became very important. It helped people get jobs, built communities, and played a huge part in shaping life in Point Fortin and beyond. But the story didn't stop there. In 2018, Petrotrin was restructured, and today, Heritage Petroleum Company Limited is responsible for finding and producing oil in Trinidad and Tobago. Just like that, the oil beneath Point Fortin became national pride. So now you know that Point Fortin wasn't built easily. It was carved from dense forests, forged by hard labor, and powered by the people who came, stayed, and built a life. It didn't only produce oil. Point Fortin produced legacy. History lives in places we pass every day, and right here in Point Fortin, the story continues. So take a moment, look a little closer, because there's always more to discover down in the borough.
It's always interesting to learn about your country. Well, that's probably somewhere that I should visit very soon, Point Fortin. Well, Carrie's up next with the news at 7 a.m. Coming up inside the next hour, we continue discussions, very important discussions to get you ready for the day ahead on Trinidad and Tobago Today. Carrie's up next. Take a short break.
The plays that shake the arenas. The stories that move a nation. From football to cricket, track to tennis, every win, every rivalry, every headline. This is where Trinidad and Tobago come for sports.
TTT Sports with Nasira Mohammed, daily at 7 p.m.
Talk City 91.1. Thought-provoking conversations, bold perspectives, voices you trust. Talk City 91.1, bigger, bolder, and more powerful than ever before.
Yes, Talk City 91.1 FM.
A brand new era of talk radio is here. With voices you know, trust, and respect. Get ready for an all-new lineup of the very best in talk. Andy Williams, Lennox Smith, Stephen Reese, Mr. X, Derek Charbodi, Roland Stewart, Sharon Farfan, Sudath Prasad, Heavy Duty, Alex Asing, Karen Francisco, Cherry-Leen Lewis, Short Pants, and more of the voices shaping the national conversation. From hard-hitting current affairs to real community issues, culture, politics, social development, and the stories that matter most to you. This is where Trinidad and Tobago comes to talk.
So I'll go right to on Talk City 91.1, where we're going to give you something new, something hot every day, Monday to Friday.
Listen on 91.1 FM and connect on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Talk City 91.1. Your city, your voice.
The time is now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. No, not that. Right now.
All I need is one night. You're gonna have to splurge on it. All I need is one night. I went deaf on it.
No, not that. Right now.
All I need is one night. You're gonna have to splurge on it. All I need is one night. I went deaf on it.
This is the new day.
A new sound, a new style, a new style, a new class. Next 99.1 FM, the next level of radio.
Right now.
When it matters, we're there, reporting the news as it happens, because your world can't wait. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Good morning, this is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. Concerns have been raised about a multi-million US dollar financing arrangement tied to the Port of Spain waterfront, following the findings in the 2025 Auditor General's report on the public accounts of TNT, which was laid in the Parliament on Friday. According to Auditor General Jaiwanti Ramdas, a US $500 million loan was secured by Port of Spain Waterfront Development Limited through UMB Bank NA, with repayment linked to a 30-year sublease involving the Office of the President. The 2025 report notes that while the loan is not recorded as government debt, it is being repaid using public funds, creating what is described as an indirect financial obligation and potential risk to transparency. However, the Office of the President has strongly rejected claims circulating on social media suggesting wrongdoing. In a statement on Saturday, the office said any attempt to portray President Christine Kangaloo or the presidency as responsible for the transaction is wholly improper, emphasizing that the president acts only in accordance with the Constitution and on the advice of cabinet or relevant ministers. The office says it will issue further statements if necessary as more facts emerge. In other news, Deputy Political Leader of the United National Congress and Minister of Works and Infrastructure, Jerlene John, presented a report outlining the work carried out by her ministry over the past 12 months. She was speaking at the United National Congress's 37th anniversary celebration, marking the party's first year in office. The Deputy Political Leader said in the past year, several projects were launched and delivered.
So to date, in the ministry, since I've been here, we have completed over 2,055 patches. You want to know what the hell the PNM was doing all the time? Mashing up your car. We have deployed 953 tons of hot mix asphalt. And then we are working very closely with the Water and Sewage Authority in areas including Tumpuna Road, SSE Road. We're patching because them road getting you seasick. We are repairing, all right, in the short term. Because the people of this country should not have to endure bad roads because government agencies cannot coordinate.
Infrastructure projects were also prioritized as the administration focused on strengthening roads, public facilities, and key services nationwide.
So within just 1 year, we have completed over 83 road infrastructure projects spanning roadway maintenance, slope stabilization, completed works including the SSE Road, Bridge, Sambuco Extension Road. Man, just look around. The Ministry of Works and Infrastructure is on every street corner.
Minister John pledged on behalf of her colleagues to remain hands-on in delivering results for citizens. In sport now, Trinidad and Tobago national cyclist Nicholas Paul enjoyed another successful tournament, winning silver in the men's individual sprint at the UCI Track World Cup in Nalil, Malaysia on the third and final day. Paul began the day on a positive note with an impressive second-place finish in the qualifiers in 9.964 seconds. In the final, Paul went toe-to-toe against five-time Olympic gold medalist Harry Lavrison, but narrowly missed out on a gold medal finish. That result sees Paul finish the games with a sprint silver, carrying bronze, and a fourth-place finish in the men's team sprint. And that was your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. After the break, Virmala comes back with hour number 2 of Trinidad and Tobago Today.
Women are a quiet strength the world leans on, the hands that holds everything together, and the heart that keeps on giving, even when they're tired. And it's time for us to celebrate that. I'm Yasha Manu, your host of Majestic Makeover, the series which uplifts and transforms the lives of everyday women who've carried so much for so long. In this season, we're looking for women like these, women who have endured, women who survive, women who keep on going, no matter what. A woman who's lost a loved one and finds the strength to go on. A survivor of crime who refused to be broken. A woman over 70 who gives to her family and the community every single day. A survivor of serious illness who continues to live with hope and courage. A physically challenged woman living fully with dignity and determination. These are the stories we want to honor. Do you know her? Nominate her. Let's celebrate her. Send us 2 brief paragraphs which briefly states who she is, your relationship to her, and why she deserves this journey. As well, send us your contact information. Send it to majesticmakeover@tt@gmail.com. Because remember, every woman needs to feel majestic. Majestic Makeover Season 3, right here on TTT.
The time is now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. No, not that. Right now. Why not? Right now.
All I need is one night. You're gonna have to splurge on it. All I need is one night. I went deaf on it.
No, not that. Right now. Why not? Why not? Right now.
All I need is one night. You're gonna have to splurge on it. All I need is one night. I went deaf on it.
This is the new day.
A new sound, a new style, a new style, a new class. Next 99.1 FM, the next level of radio.
Right now.
Welcome back to Trinidad and Tobago Today on TTT. Well, San Fernando is getting ready to stand taller, both literally and culturally. Plans are now underway for the San Fernando Moko Jambi, a towering 45 to 51-foot monument that will celebrate the rich heritage, creativity, and identity of our people. Locally built and expected to be completed sometime this year, the project is already being hailed as a bold new symbol of patriotism and tourism for the city. At the center of this exciting initiative is Director of Hideout Signs Limited, Mr. Musa Rahman, whose vision is helping to bring this cultural landmark to life. And you'd remember a while ago, he joined us on the show to talk about the 100 steps. Well, this morning he talks about the San Fernando Moko Jambi and the patriotic push behind it. Good morning to you, Musa, and welcome.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for being here, and thanks for all you do in San Fernando. So you've been recently praised for repainting the 100 steps in San Fernando, something we spoke about extensively here on the show. And now you're moving into another major cultural project. So where does this passion for uplifting the borough come from?
I like to keep myself busy. This project is something that I sent to the city for approval around the same time as the 100 steps. But obviously, I mean, this is a huge project. So we did the 100 steps. I was waiting for the approval for this. And because of the success of 100 steps and because of all the publicity, they had a look at it again and they thought it was a good idea. I mean, it's going to be the largest Moko Jambi statue in the world. I reached out to Guinness to get it registered as a world record, but we have to complete it first. So we actually started the statue this week. So it's a big project.
So where did the vision for this particular Moko Jambi originate?
I wanted to do something for San Fernando. I wanted to do something that would create an impact, something that, when you major thing San Fernando, you think something bold, something patriotic. And speaking to a few people, speaking to sponsors, the minister, the councillor, certain stakeholders, we decided to go on the Moko Jambi because the Moko Jambi it's celebrating, it's a symbol of Caribbean and carnival culture. So the Moko Jambi is always in everything in Trinidad, every opening, every celebration, whether it's carnival, not carnival, there's always a Moko Jambi. You know, a Moko Jambi is a symbol of protection and strength. So we thought why not do the Mocha Jumbie in Skinner's Park? And Skinner's Park is a cultural site. You know, they host a lot of events in Skinner's Park, stick fighting, kaiso. Skinner Park has a lot of history, a lot of cultural history. So we try to make it a tourism destination. People come, they take pictures of the statue, they share photos, hopefully gets a lot of international media attention. And it's not only just the statue. Like the statue, yes, the statue is going to be, that's the main thing. We're focusing on the statue. But we are also going to do I Love South, or South is Love, a big sign at the side so people could come and take pictures. On the other side, depending on funding, because like I said, this is not a government-funded project. It's a privately funded project. We are hoping to probably get some sponsors on board. So far, we have enough sponsors so we can start. We have started the statue. So depending on the funding, we want to put a large steel pan on the side of it and an artist wall where people could come. Photographers can place their photos. They'll have to reach out to us in advance. They place their photos, they put their name. A limited amount of photos, but something to make the place look good. And if we get more funding, I want to do a slide and a swing and some other things around the statue, because Skinner's Park is a big place. We're not affecting anyone that's playing on the field. And every evening, there's a lot of people walking at Skinner's Park, but Skinner Park doesn't have a slide, doesn't have a swing, there's nothing like that. So in my little space there around the statue, I want to do the big sign, the large pan. Hopefully we have enough to do the pan. We definitely doing the statue. We definitely doing the sign. Hopefully we get some more sponsors on board to do the pan, to do an artist wall, and to do a swing and a slide little area for children. So that is the vision behind it.
Now
that's what we're looking at.
This structure is, I believe, 45 to 51 feet tall. So this is a very ambitious project. So tell us, how exactly are you going to pull this one off?
I'm praying. Well, the height of it really depends on the amount of sponsorship we get, right? So I've started the statue. The statue has been started, meaning we started the internal structure of the statue is steel. So we started buying steel this week. The outer part of the statue, we're making concrete blocks. I do have a machine that can carve concrete. So it's all being done by computers. We're carving it in parts, and we're mounting it up. Then it's going to be painted in the national colors. Initially, I just wanted a gray or white concrete color statue, but because of the response at 100 Steps and the way people keep reaching out, you know, they love the idea of the flag, and I love the idea of the flag too. We decided to put the statue in the national colors, and we do have a sponsor for the paint, which is Kaleidoscope. They sponsor the paint. I do have quite a bit of sponsors so far. I would like to just mention them, you know, because without them, we can't start, you know. So, like the sponsors that it's all private, right? So the sponsors that reach out will be Raham's Upholstery, AM Marketing, DSM Sales and Marketing, Southern Supplies Limited, Southern Sales and Services, DS Movers, and Kaleidoscope. And we do have a couple private citizens that came on board. There's this one guy in particular, his grandfather was part of the team that brought the Mahatma Gandhi statue to San Fernando from India. So he made a contribution because he wants his grandfather's name on the sponsor wall. The wall is going to be a marble wall with engraved names and logos. And I do have another guy from Faizabad. I can't remember. I didn't speak to him. The office spoke to him. His grandfather, or great grandfather, worked with one of those labor people. I can't remember the exact name. I don't want to quote the wrong name. So he also made a contribution, and he's contributing a pallet of blocks, so he could do it in honor of his grandfather as well. So we're getting people that want to support patriotic citizens that want to be on board. So we're getting a nice buzz, and we haven't really started marketing or doing anything yet.
And in terms of the talent, I know you'll be using local talent like the craftsmen, the artists, and the expertise involved. So tell us about that.
There's about 45 people directly involved in the construction of the statue. From mason men, painters, airbrush people, There's one foreigner that I'm bringing into the country. He specializes in like statue repairs and maintenance. He works on a large monument in Cali, Colombia. So he's coming in the country tomorrow. So he has the experience in the not only the repairs and the putting together. He has experience with the actual the computerized part of it as well. Foundation work is a lot. We're hiring a lot of people for that. We want to have an official sword turning. And we're kind of scheduling it for the 1st of June, when we have enough funds to start the actual foundation, because the foundation is a lot of work. The structure is huge, a lot of engineers involved, structural companies. So it's not a small project.
Well, hopefully TTT will be a part of that. So please do extend your invitation to us. And we'd like to make it known that this is an exclusive. We are having this here first for you. So you're hearing about it on Trinidad and Tobago today. So thank you for sharing that with us. So Musa, before we go, what is your greatest wish for this project? I know that it's expected to be completed sometime later this year. What do you want for this project? What is your vision, and what do you hope comes out of all of this when it's completed?
Well, I want it to be completed in time for City Month, which is November. So I want to have it completed in October, and I want a grand celebration. Like, I want to invite the whole of Trinidad, not just sponsors and dignitaries. I want to invite the sponsors and dignitaries. I want to drape the flag with a large fabric, remove the fabric with a countdown, and have the whole of Trinidad there just out in the field, because Skinner's Park could hold it, right? So I want everybody to come out, have a countdown. We plan to light the statue in the night, red, white, and black. So it gives you a more patriotic feel. And success to me would be visitors coming to Trinidad, to San Fernando year-round, international media attention, community pride, San Fernando being known globally for an iconic cultural monument. That is a success to me, and like I said, it's not just a statue. We want to put the South is Love, or the I Love San Fernando sign at the side, huge, so you can come and take pictures. I want to do a large pan, if we have the funds, like 8-10 feet tall, a huge pan on the next side of the statue to kind of even it out. And 100% of the 100% of the funds collected towards this project is going to go towards the project. So the more funds we collect is the more things we can do. Like I said, the artist wall is something that I really want to create there. People could come and display their photographs, and I want to do something with the children as well. It need a slide, it need a swing, it need a little play area. So yeah, that would be what I think is success.
Thank you very much, Musa, for joining us this morning. You sound so excited about it, and I think you just you share that excitement with us, and we are also very, very, very hopeful that this will go well for you, and we can't wait to see what you create, what magic you create. So thank you so much for being here.
And if anybody wants to sponsor, they can get in contact with us, please.
Yeah, right. There we go. Thank you, Musa. Have a good day.
You're welcome. Take care.
And talk soon. That was Musa Rahman, Hideout Signs Limited Director. And we talked about the San Fernando Moko Jambi. So that is something to look forward to. Have you been to the 100 steps? Did you go? Did you take any pictures? Feel free to send them to us at TT today at ttt.co.tt. Well, we get ready to take another short break. And when we come back, the show continues.
Struggling with heart health or frequent migraines? Discover the simple steps to reclaim your energy and vitality.
We're diving into a topic that affects about 422 million people around the world: diabetes.
Tune into Wellness Unlocked, the series that delivers expert advice, practical tips, and inspiring stories to help you take control of your health and well-being. Your health matters. Don't miss Wellness Unlocked. Watch now on TTT and take the first step toward better health.
Women are a quiet strength the world leans on, the hands that holds everything together, and the heart that keeps on giving, even when they're tired. And it's time for us to celebrate that. I'm Yashamani, your host of Majestic Makeover. the series which uplifts and transforms the lives of everyday women who've carried so much for so long. In this season, we're looking for women like these, women who have endured, women who survived, women who keep on going, no matter what. A woman who's lost a loved one and finds the strength to go on. A survivor of crime who refused to be broken. A woman over 70 who gives to her family and the community every single day. A survivor of serious illness who continues to live with hope and courage. A physically challenged woman living fully with dignity and determination. These are the stories we want to honor. Do you know her? Nominate her. Let's celebrate her. Send us 2 brief paragraphs which briefly states who she is, your relationship to her, and why she deserves this journey. As well, send us your contact information. Send it to majesticmakeover@tt@gmail.com. Because remember, every woman needs to feel majestic. Majestic Makeover Season 3, right here on TTT.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Engineering plays a critical role in shaping the future of any nation, from stronger infrastructure and smarter cities to sustainability, innovation, and resilience. And this May, some of the region's brightest engineering minds will gather in Trinidad and Tobago for the APET Technical Conference 2026, the flagship event of the Association of Professional Engineers of Trinidad and Tobago. And this takes place on May 12th and 13th at the Hyatt Regency in Port of Spain. And the conference will bring together engineers, researchers, educators, and industry leaders for 2 days of technical discussion, groundbreaking ideas, and future-focused solutions under the theme, Engineering Our Future, Sustainable, Smart, Resilient. Well, joining us this morning to tell us more are APET Vice President Ryan Roper and Public Relations Officer Ezekiel York. Good morning, gentlemen, and welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
So, for viewers who may not be familiar, tell us exactly who is APET and the role the organization plays in TNT.
APET is the Association of Professional Engineers of Trinidad and Tobago, and we've been around since 1959, so we're older than Trinidad has been independent. And we are responsible, really, for we're the national voice of engineers across Trinidad and Tobago. Everything that you see in the built environment, highways, buildings, foundations, walls, it's done by engineers. We've got civil engineers, computer engineers even, all fall under the umbrella of APET.
Yeah. So now you have your flagship event about to take place. So tell me about this, and I think it's been around for quite a bit. And what is going to make the 2026 edition particularly significant?
So ATC 2026, or what we like to call APET Technical Conference, is rather continued reawakening of something that has been, emerging in the country and in the world for some time. That's sustainability. So we are integrating the idea and theme of, energy saving, sustainability in terms of manufacturing, electrical, civil engineering, as well as ethics, as well as new policies to make engineering safer and more structurally sound across the Caribbean region, not just Trinidad and Tobago. So we are inviting, or rather we have invited, a number of practical and research-oriented ideas, through our civil engineers, electrical engineers, mechanical, manufacturing, across a wide band of engineering fraternity to come and voice their opinions, voice their ideas, and not just the researchers, but also anyone who would like to come and hear these ideas, discuss them, and more importantly, put them into practical application.
So the theme that I mentioned earlier, it's called Engineering Our Future. Sustainable, smart, resilient. So describe that theme for me, and how will that translate into the conference?
So we face many challenges across the Caribbean. From drainage and water management issues to understanding the new technologies and innovations and applying them. So let's start with smart, for example. When you think of smart, the first thing some people think about is smart TVs and the Internet of Things and these devices that are now intertwined with our everyday life. So how do we now move towards real-time monitoring and tracking of systems? Mm-hmm. And then when people think of smart, they also think about the acronym SMART, the acronym, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time-bound. Mm-hmm. We want to really get, as Engineer York talked about, we want to get these ideas moved into becoming execution and becoming reality, and being smart about it in that perspective. When we talk about sustainable, we talk about solar, we talk about wind, we talk about all other types of renewable forms of energy, and how do we implement those within our built environment today. And then when we talk about resilience, we're talking about climate pressures. How do we build our buildings or modernize our buildings so that they can withstand the storms, withstand the earthquakes that are coming more and more, as we've seen in Jamaica recently with Melissa.
Yeah. Now, what can we expect in this two-day conference? So it's 2 days. The dates are, I believe, 12th and 13th?
12th and 13th.
So that's just a little while away.
Yeah.
So lots to do, I can only imagine. But what can we expect in the conference itself? What will be discussed? Who are the people who will be presenting? What can we look forward to?
Right. So it's a plethora of different researchers, engineers, as well as possible guests like ministers, as well as very prominent persons in the field. So from professional engineers to doctors to also PhD and student engineers are coming to bring the ideas to the forefront. So for example, we have ideas such as things that will make roads more resilient and more sustainable, more long-lasting. So for example, we have ideas that are implementing rubberized material into asphalt to make it more long-lasting. We also have ways of collecting rainwater through something called water harvesting for flood mitigation. We have a number of other ideas when it comes to sustainability, such as solar and water energy use, as well as the ethics when it comes to implementing new policies, lean policies, strategies that will make engineering safer, as well as the management and execution of it a lot more guideline-oriented.
Now, who is this conference tailored to? Is it only for engineers? Can other people attend?
We are inviting everyone to come. Mm-hmm. To implement some of these solutions, we need stakeholders. We need stakeholders across the board, from young engineers, let's start with students. Engineering students, we want you to come, meet mentors, get mentored, get guidelines, understand the process of matriculation through UE and UTT, get some ideas of how to do that. Even if you want to get a summer internship or July, August vacation internship with people like myself, for example, senior engineers, young professionals, we want you to come. You don't just get a degree and then build a building. You've got to get mentorship, you've got to get that experience, and you can meet these people at the conference.
Great networking as well. Yes, you never know who you're going to meet.
Exactly. At the end of day one, we're going to have a cocktail experience where you can meet and mingle with experienced engineers. But we also want business leaders, we also want entrepreneurs, we also want policymakers, because again, we want to move ideas into execution. And again, we need a multidisciplined approach to ensure that these ideas turn into reality.
And give us the details of the conference now for those of us who want to attend.
Sure. So on the first day, we'll be greeted with a panel discussion. Of course, we'll be having breakout rooms where you'll be going to different themes, where there'll be a number of different presentation rooms. And then, of course, at the end of the day, there'll be a cocktail receptions where we'll have that opportunity to do some networking. And of course, I also want to stress as well that we'll be having a student competition that's currently active, where students can actually, post a TikTok kind of oriented video where they're talking about their understanding of what smart, sustainable, and resilient means as it, relates to the conference, and not just the conference itself, but engineering as a whole.
Yeah, and their interpretation of this theme. That's actually really interesting.
Yeah.
So where can we get more information about all of this? Do you have to register for the conference? Can you tell us where we can get that information?
Sure. So you can register and get all the information that you'll need by visiting our website, ATC2026.org.
That's on the screen for you now.
Exactly. Yeah. And you can also call the office at 627-6697 or contact the office manager at office@appet.org. So you'll get all the information in terms of registration links, the pricing of the tickets, as well as the location right there.
And what are you looking forward to most in this, Mr. Roper?
I believe this is a learning and networking experience. And what I'd like to see is that greater awareness of what engineers do. We just heard about the Mokojumbi in San Fernando, the foundations. Engineers are required.
Right.
For every aspect of life, engineers are required.
Absolutely.
And what I'd like to see from this is that the general public is more aware of engineering, what we do. We're focused on ensuring integrity of engineers and the highest standards of engineering practice, and that is global. And what I'd like to see as well is that ideas turn into execution. I'd like to see conversations turn into projects. And what we'd like to see, of course, is strategy turn into that execution, and people get together and form committees and groups and even businesses that turn these solutions into reality.
And generally a greater appreciation for engineers and the work that they do.
That's right. That's right.
All right, well, thank you very much, gentlemen, for being here with us this morning. And we're looking forward to the APET Technical Conference 2026. Well, the time now, 7:31 in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Located on the southern coast of Trinidad, the village of Maruga isn't a gem waiting to be discovered. From the unhurried tempo of village life to the unadulterated landscape and the vestiges of a long-gone era still wrestling against time, Maruga is not somewhere you stumble upon, It's a place that feels purposely removed. Join Carrie Roberts to see what has been waiting in the southern coastal community for this installment of Right Here.
There's a certain kind of quiet you don't experience very often anymore. Well, with the dizzying pace of modernization, the constant need for everything to happen faster and faster, and the little black box in our hands keeping us plugged into work, the news, notifications, emails, everything. Real calm is hard to come by. The fishing village of Maruga feels far removed from the humdrum of it all and has managed to preserve this unforced tranquility, reflected in the mellow pulse of the community, the leisurely deportment of the villagers, and the seemingly sacred hush of nature itself. This is the kind of place where a visit offers a healthy disconnect and a mental reset from an overstimulated lifestyle. Speaking of connections, we begin this visit with a relic that once linked plantations during the colonial days. Today's adventure takes us to the southeastern village of Maruga, one that is rich in culture, history, and natural gems. For our first stop, we are here at the Spring Bridge in Maruga, which is one of only two in Trinidad. Spanning the River of Hope, the Maruga Suspension Bridge, also known as the La Rufa Spring Bridge, was first constructed in 1899 by the British colonial government with the supervision of then Director of Public Works, Walsh Wrightson. Its primary purpose was to allow the passage of produce-laden mules, transporting hand-picked cocoa and coffee from nearby estates to collection points. It also allowed access to the La Rufa jetty, where the cash crops would be collected by the round-the-island steamboat for export. Beyond their estates, it provided the local fishing and agricultural communities a way to bring their catch and crops to wider markets. Today, the bridge is but a shell of its former self, yet it is a protected historical monument. Its purpose declined in the 1970s in tandem with the local cocoa industry, and eventually collapsed in 1993. It suffered another major collapse in 1998 when a truck attempted crossing. While the structure still stands, it is now in a state of disrepair and disuse, as it is no longer safe or fit for purpose. A Bailey Bridge has since been installed to serve the La Rufa community, linking the past and present. Here, there are no chair and umbrella rentals, no tents, no speakers blasting music, no lions for bacon shark, just the whisper of the wind and the sounds of the sea. At Grand Chemin Beach, the vast coastal landscape offers a true escape from the crowds, the noise, the man-made. This seemingly untouched expanse, unmarred by modern development, invites calm and possesses serenity that is increasingly elusive in the bustle of life today. It's evident that Maruga has long found the formula to preserve this hallowed quiet. Originally settled by tribes of the Warao people, Grand Chemin, along with the nearby Maruga River, was central to a network of land routes and waterways they used to maintain trade with neighboring Venezuela. Later, in 1498, it was reputed to be the place where Spanish-employed Italian mercenary Christopher Columbus first landed in Trinidad during his third voyage to the falsely labeled New World, later claiming credit for discovering the already populated island for the Spanish crown. Local tradition holds that he erected a white cross at the location, and in 2012, local artist Eric Lewis installed a monument to commemorate the historic occasion. Sadly, it was subsequently lost due to coastal erosion 4 years later. A 30-foot statue of St. Peter at the location was also removed to prevent it meeting a similar fate. Aside from the remnants of Maruga's history, Grand Chemin Beach is where the churning waters of the Columbus Channel meet with the rugged expanse of beachfront. Unlike the pale-colored, tufted sands of the north coast, here it is ochre-tinted and compacted, making the several-mile-long shoreline a rich color and mostly flat. Depressions scattered across the beachscape create tidal pools with a mirror-like sheen. The coast is guarded by dramatic sandstone formations and hidden caves carved into surreal shapes, layers of rocks sculpted over time by wind and water, standing as quiet markers of the area's natural history. In some areas, these formations create pockets of shade and shelter, while in others, they open up to the sweeping coastal views. Fishing boats can sometimes be seen pulled up along the sand, a subtle reminder of the community that exists alongside the scenery. It's not curated or commercial, it's lived in, and that authenticity is part of its appeal. Beyond its physical beauty, Maruga holds a certain stillness that's becoming harder to find. There's a sense that time moves a little differently here, unhurried, uninterrupted. Whether it's the sound of waves rolling in or the breeze moving through the trees, the experience isn't about spectacle, it's about presence. And in a country known for its energy and constant motion, places like this offer something just as valuable: space to pause, to reflect, and to reconnect with the quieter side of Trinidad that continues to endure. I'm Carrie Roberts, giving you a glimpse into the paradise we have right here.
This segment was brought to you by Caribbean Glass Specialists Limited, with over 65 years in business, delivering superior quality aluminium windows, doors and shower enclosures, along with complete glass and aluminium solutions for residential and commercial spaces, with supply and installation across Trinidad and Tobago and exports throughout the region. Craftsmanship you can trust.
Thank you so much, Carrie Roberts, for that installation of Right Here. Well, we originally planned to show you my sit down with economist Dr. Indira Sajiwan today, but in the interest of time, we will be showing you that tomorrow, so that's something to look forward to. So again, we'll be showing that year in review interview with Dr. Indira Sajiwan. Well, speaking of the year in review, you would have noticed that we started the show this morning speaking about the Prime Minister's address at the UNC National Congress this weekend. Well, continuing with that, she also told us that government created over 15,000 jobs between April 2025 and April 2026 across ministries like education, health, works, rural development, and skills training. So the Prime Minister is saying this morning, brighter days are ahead. And also get this, more employment is expected through new HDC housing projects. There's also an expected expansion at Point Lisas and a special economic zone for data centers at Picton. And she also said that government has already repaired 82 police vehicles, leased 50 more, and plans to deploy 30 mobile police posts nationwide. So definitely a lot to look forward to in this coming year and beyond. And of course, we continue to talk about the current administration's first year in government. Well, for all the stories that you see here and more, follow us at TTT Live Online. If you have a story idea, a press release, or you want to collaborate with us, well, we'd love to hear from you. Contact us today at tttoday@ttt.co.tt. That's tttoday@ttt.co.tt, and you can be a part of the conversation that's shaping our nation. TNT Today. All the news you can trust and the stories that matter. Also, a very special good morning to all our viewers. We met someone really special this weekend. Her name is Daisy. So good morning to you, Daisy. Thank you for being here. And you can always send us your emails and your comments on our social media pages, and we will be so happy to give you a shout. So good morning to you, Daisy, and thank you for being such a beautiful viewer of Trinidad and Tobago Today. Take a break and come back.
Embrace life with Guardian Life. Life, health insurance, and pension solutions.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Attention viewers in Trinidad and Tobago. The Truth of God now airs on the TTT network every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. You won't want to miss the dynamic preaching and teaching of Pastor Jennings as he speaks from God's Holy Bible.
Believe what God says.
The Truth of God, every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. on Trinidad and Tobago television. You can also watch The Truth of God 24/7 at the TOG.TV.
I'm Jamila Bannister, host of the Socially Safe podcast, the new TTPS podcast where we share real stories, teach real lessons, and create real impact. From online safety and youth crime to community policing and personal responsibility, we go beyond the headlines and talk about what's happening in our communities with the officers and experts who are on the front lines. Because safety starts with awareness, conversation, and action. Tune in to the Socially Safe podcast on the TTPS YouTube channel, listen on Apple Podcasts, and on Spotify. Don't miss it.
Watch on TTT, Mondays,
6 p.m. Tuesdays, 1:10 p.m.
It's that time of the year again, my friends. Feel it in the air. Football, football, football. It's back. Everyone's locked in. This is Richard Torpedo Thompson, and my Trinidad and Tobago people. I'll stay this straight. Fans make the game. Cheers, chants, passion. That's the heartbeat of football. There's only one 12th man that really brings the energy. That's Andre Errol Batiste on TTT. Every Thursday on TTT. Don't miss it.
Well, this morning we turn to an inspiring story that challenges what many expect at such a young age. 10-year-old Emmy Eaton, a student of St. Joseph's Girls RC School, has not yet written her SE exams, but she's already sitting her CSEC papers. Recently, she entered the St. Augustine Secondary School compound as a private candidate to sit the CSEC Spanish Paper 3 exam, with papers 1 and 2, as well as history, still to come. And Amy says she enjoys pushing herself and wanted to see how far she could stretch her abilities. Her journey has been guided by her teacher, Willan Ivan Nurse, through the Community Language Services program, where she took up Spanish less than a year ago and quickly excelled. And her father, Dr. Jeremiah Eaton, has also been closely supportive, encouraging her curiosity and drive from an early age. Well, they all joined me this morning on set. Good morning, Emmy. Good morning, Dad. And good morning, sir. And welcome to the show.
Good morning to you all. Good morning.
So the lady of the moment, Emmy. So Emmy, tell us, when did your interest in Spanish begin?
I wanted to do Spanish a while because I wanted to push myself and try to achieve great things.
Yeah? So you've always liked Spanish?
Yes.
Okay. And when did you decide, like, I want to take this all to CSEC?
I saw other people doing it, so I thought I could do it as well as at a young age.
Yeah, but you're only 10, so how did you learn so much Spanish?
My Spanish teacher, he encouraged me and my father. They both encouraged me to try it, so I decided to do it.
And Dr. Jeremiah, when did you first realize that her ability in Spanish was truly something special?
Well, thank you for having me. I discovered that she was kind of curious about studying, and the environment, I think, was a major contributor to her interest, because she's always in the university environment. She's always with me, and she saw other students studying, and she got curious. And as she noticed other young kids trying the exam, and she asked if she could do it. I said, yeah, well, there's nothing wrong. You could give it a try. And then she started showing interest, and Nurse, the teacher, constantly encouraged her to study. At some point asked her, would you be interested in doing this exam? She said, yes, I would want to. And we said, okay, give it a try, because the age should not be a limit.
Yes.
So whatever you can do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, sir, so at which point did you realize that, she was ready to take on something like CSEC?
Well, Amy have a very intelligent brain. She's very smart and intelligent. She's very curious of trying new things. But when we did class together at the university campus, I observed that her listening comprehension, she could, when I speak to her, she could write the words, sentence just like that.
Wow.
And when I tell her to read, she read very, very well. And well, the speaking is going to be developed because she had to learn new ideas, how to grammar and put everything there. But she's very intelligent. And I talked to her and say, you are very intelligent. And she asked a lot of questions. She asked me, is there little boys and girls could do exam at my age? And I said, well, yes. And I told her, well, she asked, can I do this exam? I said, well, I have to talk to Daddy first. And yes, with a passport of Trinidad and Tobago, as a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, have a passport, you could register as a private candidate.
Yes.
And from there, history was made.
So, Emmy, do you get nervous at all?
Sometimes I do get kind of nervous. but after a while, I gained confidence.
Can you say something for us in Spanish? Can you say, my name is?
¿Cómo te llama? Es Emmy Eaton.
Oh, wow. So, Dad, what is your hope for Emmy throughout all of this? She's starting this very early.
She has the whole world in front of her and all the time. But as a little child, she's always been very ambitious, pushing boundaries privately at home. And I noticed that she's always been aspiring to beat the normal.
Yeah.
She's always wanted, at age 5, she told me that, I want to be an astronaut. And I started wondering, how can this child start thinking about being an astronaut? When I was 5 years old, I never even knew that word.
Yes.
And she said she wants to be an astronaut. I said, okay, that's wonderful. I thought it was, children dream. I thought it was a childhood dream. That was more than 5 years ago. And 10 years after, she's still nursing that dream. And I said, are you sure you can go through this? She said, yes, I'm very proud of my country and I want to make my country proud, because every time I see some bad news and I want to see I can change the narrative and be an astronaut. I said, okay, good.
Yeah.
Maybe that could inspire you and inspire others who listen to your story. And we get some good things. They say, shoot for the stars. Maybe you get the moon.
Yeah.
So I encourage her every little way I can to achieve. But at the same time, I carefully try to manage expectations. Because in fact, coming here, she was kind of shy that there's so much expected. What if I don't do so well? I said, don't worry, there's nothing wrong about you not doing so well. You've already encouraged so many by attempting what you've attempted.
Absolutely.
So don't be, people do exams, they don't pass the first time, they try again. So there's nothing wrong. The courage that you've manifested and demonstrated by trying to do this is success enough. And when you pass the exams, that will be additional cream to the
that is really beautiful this morning. As a parent, saying this to other parents, and I'm sure you'll inspire many people. If your child doesn't succeed at first, there's always another opportunity to try. So I love that. Thank you for sharing those words with us this morning, Dad. So, Emmy, what do your friends think about what you're doing?
They are surprised that I was able to do this. They were asking me how I did this, because I haven't even done SCA yet. And I tried doing CSEC and Spanish as well.
Wow.
I'm going to do history.
So, sir, she still has to go through SEA?
Yes.
Yes. Wow.
And the things about it to Emmy that I don't know how she got the energy to do it. Yeah, even up to yesterday we had class and she had her me time and we had a practice and she is just keep on going. Sometimes it's really difficult for her, so she had to take a break.
Yeah.
And get back to herself, realizing, well, it's reality. I'm doing CSEC.
Yeah.
And she could continue. Just, I wouldn't give up. I need to do this. And with the help of her father and the University of the Southern Caribbean, the people around her, there are a lot of her school peers, her teachers in the primary school, they all support her, they all encourage her. In fact, on social media, I will have to say this also to my sister Jamelia Jacobson, which is one of my advisors. We have the JBW Foundation, and right now she's blown up all over the world because her image is all over United States of America, her image is in Africa, her image is in Europe, her image is in Asia, because my sister Jamelia Jacobson, who was a presidential Colon and Lifetime Achievement, she always advised her, and she's a social worker and activist for violence against women and abused children. And we came up with using a holistic format of working with the little children and them, because charity begins at home, and we want to not educate, but re-educate, and re-elevate and re-empower and get that structure for a better educational system in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes, well, Emmy, before we go, I know you wanted to read something for us really quickly. Can you do that for us in Spanish this morning?
Okay. Centroamérica impresionante. Centroamérica es una parte del mundo situada entre la frontera sur de México, en Norteamérica y la frontera norte de Colombia, en Sudamérica. Central America consta de 7 países: Belize, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, y Nicaragua y Panamá. En todos el español es el idioma oficial, excepto en Belize, donde el inglés es el idioma oficial. En Centroamérica se hablan también varias lenguas indígenas. En comparación con Norteamérica y Sudamérica, Centroamérica es muy pequeña. Representa menos del 0,5% de las tierras del planeta. No obstante, hay una gran variedad de planetas de insectos, aves y animales en Centroamérica, más del 7% de la diversidad biológica del planeta en 40 en Centroamérica. Es impresionante, ¿no?, para conservar este riqueza natural. Hay 124 parques nacionales en total.
Gracias, Emmy. Thank you very, very, very much. Well, that's where we say thank you to everyone who joined us today. Thank you, Emmy, your dad, and your Spanish teacher for being here and sharing this gem of a child with us this morning on Trinidad and Tobago Today. So we are definitely inspiring so many people. If that's something you want to do, forget your age, regardless of your age. Just do what you do, whatever you would like to do. Well, it's almost time for us to say goodbye. Again, thank you to all the guests who joined us this morning. And in case you're wondering what the weather is going to be like, we've got a reminder for you from Zena James.
Zena James here with your weather. Tuesday's forecast holds hot and sunny conditions with a few brief showery spells possible from mid-morning into the early afternoon. Temperatures will peak in the lower 30s for both islands. In an extended look, the TTMS released their latest dryness and drought outlook, flagging borderline to slightly dry conditions expected across Tobago and parts of central Trinidad by July and August 2026. Otherwise, out at sea, moderate conditions persist in open waters, with wave heights up to 2 meters and slight in sheltered areas. In addition, a new moon on the 17th could increase the tidal pull, producing more exaggerated tides until Monday. As such, caution is advised, especially during high tide.
Thank you so much, Zena, for that weather. Just about 3 minutes before the top of the hour. Once again, thank you so much to all our guests who joined us this morning. And also thank you to all our viewers who continue to stream us live on Facebook and YouTube. A special good morning to Daisy, one of my viewers that I saw this morning. All habits die hard by saying listeners. But thank you for being here. You can also email us at ttt@ttt.co.tt. Send in whatever you want to tell us, maybe even your pictures as well. We'll see you tomorrow 6 to 8 where we do this all over again on Trinidad and Tobago Today. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Hi everyone, I'm Marissa Benin. Coming up, Jamaica, here we come. These women of vision are on a mission. Ride the waves and savor the flavor, otherwise known as spending quality time in Antigua and Barbuda. Fun times, plus the food that sets St. Kitts and Nevis apart, all available under one roof. Cue the entertainment and the food. It's Chinese Spring Festival time.
There are a number of risk factors for heart disease, so a lot of attention has to be put towards preventive cardiology. What can we do to reduce the burden due to all these risk factors? Hypertension, diabetes, cholesterol, need to stop cigarette smoking, you gotta get people exercising.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Hi everybody, I am Leah.
And I'm Dion.
And we are
The Duncans.
Listen, we're here to tell you about a project the Lord has given to us called the Marriage Confessional. It is geared toward married couples, those that are on the road to marriage, and those that want to get married one day.
So join us on TTT and on Facebook and YouTube at TTT Live Online.
The Marriage Confessional, only on TTT.
More news, more access, more ways to stay informed. TTT News covers the stories that matter on air and online. Join us nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Good morning, this is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. Despite financial setbacks, the housing sector in Trinidad and Tobago is seeing transformation. This from Deputy Political Leader of the United National Congress and Minister of Housing, David Lee. The Minister of Housing stated that the Housing Development Corporation was burdened by debt. He was speaking to supporters and reporting to the national community at the party's anniversary celebrations for their first year in office and 37th year as a party.
We are also confronted a system burdened by over $6 billion in debt, and that is HEC. We did not run from it. We addressed it, restructured it, and we stabilized it, and restored confidence in the system and had lost direction.
Highlighted some of the work the party has been able to accomplish during their first 12 months in the housing sector.
10 parcels of land transferred to the HEC, unlocking over 1,500 housing units immediately. 12 additional state sites identified, creating capacity for 10,000 homes over the next 5 years. We have removed bottlenecks. We have introduced public-private partnerships because this government understands housing is not just construction. Housing is dignity. Housing is security. Housing is the foundation of family life.
Minister Lee said the housing sector is moving from development to growth. In more news, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service says officers responded to a report of a wounding incident along Railway Line Road in Victoria Village, San Fernando, at around 1 a.m. on Sunday, following a request for assistance from Emergency Health Services personnel. On arrival, officers were taken to an unpainted two-story structure where they observed a man lying on a bed on the upper floor, suffering from a wound to the head. He was taken for medical treatment and later identified as Kwesi Alfred of Railway Line Road, Victoria Village. Police then proceeded to a nearby location where they were reportedly approached by a man armed with a cutlass and a hammer. Officers assessed the situation as posing an immediate threat and, in keeping with the use of force policy, discharged a single round. The man, identified as Shivanan Jogi of Railway Line Road, was taken for medical attention but later died. The initial victim remains hospitalized in critical condition. Police say investigations are ongoing and all police-involved shootings will be subject to rigorous review. Members of the public are urged to remain calm as inquiries continue. And in sport, three-time national women's powerlifting champion Zara Padilla says she is expecting strong performances from Trinidad and Tobago at this year's IPF World Classic Open Powerlifting Championships, which will be held in Lithuania in June. Padilla, who made history as Trinidad and Tobago's first female representatives at the championships, is part of a formidable 5-member team that also includes 120-kilogram World Junior Champion Joseph McDonald.
First time for Kezia and Dirise Allen, but being the first woman itself to actually represent the country last year and come back and repeat it again this year, along with a bigger team, it shows that the sport is growing in some form, and we have much more competitive athletes, including Joseph McDonald here.
And that was your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. From me and the entire TT team, have a great day.
This is TTT. Live for local.
Danny's Funeral Home Limited and Crematorium. Death announcements. Following are today's death announcements. For further information, please call